the wires previously done, so we're gonna not touch those for right now. I know what you're thinking. What does a 23-year-old girl know anything about electricity? That's why we enrolled the help of my cousin, who is by far the smartest person I know. Over the course of 2 working days, we fixed the previous owner's incorrect and honestly a bit dangerous setup, as well as installed our own powerful system of electricity. We started by looking at the solar. Shout out to the last owner who let us keep the panels for free that were already on top of the van. They were really in perfect condition and just needed to be hooked up correctly. Here's Justin sanding down the edges so that we can get access to the right wires and install some industrial wire through the top of the van. Next was the process of cleaning up the past electrical setup. Before, the electricity was wired to the front of the van's car battery, which is a big no if not properly done. One wrong move, and my cousin told me that it could have fried the entire car internal electric system. Here's just a temporary setup we did for day 1 so that things were safe and ready to go to be worked on the next day. Day 2 kicked off with a discussion on where we wanted to install the outlets, as well as how to install the batteries and what lights we were looking for in the ceiling. Deciding where the batteries should go and how the converter would be set up and how to do everything in the safest way possible definitely took the most time of the day. My cousin is an engineer, so he knows how to do all of these things, but it was way over my head. Here he is finalizing our setup. He's making sure all the wires are managed and that everything is in its right place so that it's safe and correct.
So we'll explain a little bit about our electric setup, and this is something that we didn't really want to skip on just because if we're going off grid, we want to make sure that we are self-sustaining as much as possible. So we bought these Trojan T125 batteries. We'll link them in the show description off Amazon. We got 6 of them. But the way that we set the system up is we have 2 batteries speaking to each other as one big battery. So essentially we have 3 very large batteries. And these batteries get charged by our solar system, which comes through our controller here. So the solar charge converter, or the solar charge controller, then brings in the solar, it converts it, and it starts to charge the batteries tied into our main lugs here. Essentially, this is also where we tied in our batteries, and also off these main lugs, we have our output for both our 20 volt system, which is what runs our refrigerator, our ceiling lights, all of our lights, and then the 110 volt system, which is this blue wire, which ties into our big inverter system here. And this inverter essentially powers all the 110. So pretty much every outlet here in the van, we have 4 outlets ran throughout the van. Finally, both on the inverter and inside of our 20 volt system, we have it all grounded to the side of the van. You pretty much never want to touch the ground. And that's some of the support that we got from Grace's family. And the way that we tied in the 20 volt system is, this is essentially, you think about it like your breaker box. So all of these fuses are 2 different things, whether it's like the overhead lighting or the refrigerator or the pump for our water system. And then here is a kill switch, an on-off kill switch for all the 20 volt system. And then if you come around here on the back side of our inverter, we have our on-off switch for our 110 system. So that's on. Now all of our outlets are working in the van, and this is off. So we have 2 sets of lights hooked up. These lights hooked up here are ultimately going to be 3-inch LED light bulbs at 3 different spots in the main cab area. And then this light, all these are just tester bulbs right now, but this light is the wiring for our overhang cabinets underneath of them. We'd like to illuminate the area underneath.